Have you ever wondered how many skips it takes to win a deal? I'm joined today by Lacey, a Phoenix area real estate agent and investor who was recently one of the 25 lucky winners from our batch skip tracing giveaway here on YouTube. We invited her in today to talk about how she used the free skip traces for her business and why data quality is of the utmost importance for real estate professionals. Thanks for joining us, Lacey, and congratulations on winning our batch skip tracing giveaway.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, and thank you for the skip traces.
We're happy to provide them. Can you tell us a little bit about how you used the 10,000 free skip traces for your business?
Yeah, so the skip traces kind of came at the perfect time. So I work in investment multifamily, and so I specialize in 100 units plus. However, I have people reaching out to me constantly looking for off-market multifamily, looking for anywhere from 5 units up to 70 units, whatever it is, for either their own personal investments or their clients' investments. And so in multifamily, when you are purchasing, most of these deals are done off-market. So if a property is brought on market, more than not, it's been looked at by 100 eyes. It's been already ran through the ringer. It's been through the broker's clients, their top 5, their team's clients, their office's clients, whoever it is. And it's already been looked at a lot, so people are really looking for that off-market deal. And so starting to see the need in that, I wanted to tap into that a little bit. Wanted to see if I was, what I could find in the off-market space, because in the 100 units plus, you're only doing a couple of transactions a year too. I wanted to up my transactions quite a bit too. So this really came at the perfect time as I was setting up my systems, and I actually work with Batch too, so it was kind of that perfect dynamic duo. I was setting up my systems and training my cold callers on how to target these leads and what those conversations need to look like and what information that they need to collect. And so this came at the perfect time where I was setting up the systems, getting my cold callers all trained up, and now,
lo and behold,
yeah,
10,000 skip traces.
Yeah, lo and behold, here's the data to start calling.
So what list did you import into the system? Did you have a list already? Did you pull it from somewhere else?
So it was a mix of a few different things. So combined a few different lists, pulled some new records, and then targeting the southern states. So there's a few different states that we're targeting that have are a little more landlord friendly, as well as have high population growth and a good income growth metric. And so all of those different metrics pulled together helped us narrow in on which markets we wanted to start hitting.
Do you have any wins to share or opportunities you're pursuing from the skip trace list?
Yeah, actually. So no specific sales where we've closed on deals yet, but a lot of good traction has been made. So had a lot of or several good leads that we're pursuing that we're working towards getting to the offer stage, just working on those final pieces of information on collecting final numbers from the seller as far as solidifying what the rents are on these units and solidifying those expenses to make sure we are having a really well-rounded deal put together. Working on getting to offer stage on a few of those, but many good conversations with these sellers as well, because in multifamily, you don't typically just own one complex. You know, these small-time landlords, they're going to own the 20 unit, and then they're going to own the 20 unit up the street, or they're going to have a portfolio. It's very rare that you find someone only owning one. So that leads the conversation into, okay, well, do you have any other properties that you're interested in? Or do you have a referral that I can get connected with? Or heck, we're buying in this area. Do you want me to send you any properties? And so turning the conversation into that consultation almost, or being more of a resource to these sellers, has been very, very good.
It's interesting that you say that, because you're basically taking this lead and you're not using it for one particular purpose. There are so many different purposes that you could potentially use it for, like you mentioned. So I love that angle that you're taking there. As someone who works as an agent and helps investors find profitable investments, talk to us about the importance of getting that high quality data.
Yeah, so data is everything. If your data doesn't work, the deal doesn't work. So when you're working with investors, you're purchasing a business. So the data has to be right, the numbers have to work, and it's not as much as a emotional buy when you're working with investors. Then when you're working with homeowners, because on the flip side of that, when you're working with a homeowner, you're purchasing for the intangibles, you're purchasing for the feeling, you're purchasing for if they can see themselves, drinking coffee in the kitchen or raising a family, or different type of metrics than when you're working with an investor. And no investor is going to go into a deal if the numbers don't work. If you bring a property to an investor and you say, hey, this deal is going to lose you money every month and you're not going to make any money when you sell, you're going to be like, all right, why'd you bring this to me? Like, that doesn't make sense. So data is really, really important, especially in today's market too, because it's changing by the day. Interest rates are changing by the day, so your underwriting needs to change by the day too. It's everything.
So I understand that you're also using batch leads for cold calling some of these people on your lists. Tell me about how you're using batch skip tracing and batch leads in your overall strategy.
Yeah, so both of them go completely hand in hand. So first you have to have the lead skip trace and make sure you're not calling anyone on the do not call list, and making sure the numbers are accurate to an extent. And then we're using batch leads as well for our cold callers to call out of. So they're using the click to dial function versus being on a dialer. We just found that that's converted a little bit better. I'm not really sure why, but we just have them doing click to dial right off the bat. And so it's really helpful for them to be able to see, what the property looks like from a street view, to be able to look, at comparables. So if a seller comes back and they say, oh, I want 3.2 for this property, they're able to make a little bit more of an informed decision or a formed conversation around that, where they're able to look at the comparables. And while that's not always correct, because this underwriting is totally dependent on the property, it helps guide the conversation. So it has been incredibly helpful. They're able to list the leads as either hot leads or a good prospect, and that we need to do a deeper dive into it. And then they're able to put all of their notes from the call into just one spot, which has been so incredibly helpful versus having all of these different systems set up. It's just a one-stop shop for us to have the callers call out of and have every single piece of information in front of them, whether it's how long the property has been with this owner. That's even really, really helpful, having the high equity number there, or if it has just been sold.
Having those high quality conversations with these prospects, with these leads, is super, super important. What's one thing that you know now that you wish you would have known when you started in your real estate career?
That's like the $1 million question. Yeah. Oh, man. So, there's a lot of things I know now that I really wish that I had when I first started. And, quite frankly, I would just start with just be patient with yourself. Getting into real estate, it is not only is it a grind, it can be really complicated. You can have really high highs and really low lows, but just be really patient with yourself and the journey you're on, and don't compare yourself to what you're seeing, your friends doing or people on social media doing. To give some context, when I started in real estate, I was still working a full-time W-2 job. And so I even did that for 2.5 years while I was doing real estate and the job at the same time. And it was very grueling, and I got down on myself, just like, why am I not making progress yet? I was purchasing a new investment property every couple of months, so I was building this portfolio, but I didn't feel like I was doing as much as I could have done. Knowing what I know now is like, you have to build your future in your current day. So I would tell myself, build your KPIs every single day of what you need to hit to get to that future goal. I knew I wanted to get in multifamily, but I didn't know what I needed to be doing every single day to get there. Didn't know, who do I need to talk to? How many calls do I need to make? What events do I need to go to? So I would just build those KPIs in your every single day to work to your end goal, and you're going to make astronomical progress.
Setting those goals, those SMART goals, and making them super specific has been so successful for so many people. Going back to your beginnings, it is Women's History Month. I understand that when you were getting into the business, there were a lot of women that helped guide you along the way. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I would say even getting started in real estate was because of my connections with other women. So I thought getting into real estate, or even owning a house for that matter, owning your own house, you had to do like with your husband, or right? Like,
you have to hit these metrics in order to be able to do it.
I never ever in a million years thought for myself, oh, I could own this by myself. Like, I was like just mind blown. And there was this one event I was at where every single woman around me owned like 5, 10, 20 units, had these like, you know, at the time, massive portfolios to me. And I'm like, this is incredible. Like, even at this stage, like looking at those women who own those portfolios, it's like, look at what you did. That's amazing. And so it was the first eye opener for me to see I can do this too, because I see you doing it. Right. So I think it's really important to like have your mentors, have your people you're looking up to, especially when you have like a strong women's support system around you. Like, I have some women in my current life that like I look up to every day, seeing what they're doing. Like Shireen, she's incredible. Like, seeing what she's doing in the community that she's building with Investress, it's like these women they're such go-getters, and they're there for one purpose, and that's to build massive wealth through real estate.
Lacey, that's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for being with us here today. I'm Amy Waz for Batch Service. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can keep bringing you more educational content for free.